Call the meeting to order of the Griggs County Commission. Stand for today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next we'll take a roll. John Wakefield. Here. Bill Peterson. Here. Ron Dahl. Here. Sean Steffen. Here. Troy's here. All right. Approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or corrections to the agenda as presented?
I saw the November 6th meeting is back here. Are we supposed to approve that too as part of the agenda? Oh, okay.
It's on there. It's the November 6th, 2015 meeting.
Oh, okay. Understood.
We need to correct that one number is all.
Okay, yeah. I just looked up at the top. No, I don't have anything.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
The move by Dale to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we will review the November 20th, 2015 Commissioners' Proceeding Minutes. Does anybody have any additions or corrections to those minutes? Anybody see anything in the minutes?
Yeah, it says there's discussion about the, okay, this is on second page here. No, I lost my place. There's discussion on the amendment that was presented on the right-of-way project. That isn't very clear what it's about the contract amendment. It doesn't really tell us anything. It was an amendment to the contract for the surveying. That really doesn't describe what the discussion was about.
How would you like that to be rewrote to make it more clear?
I guess it states something about the contract amendment.
The contract amendment? So should I just...
or the KLJ contract.
So there was discussion on the KLJ amendment?
On the amendment to the KLJ contract for engineering.
Due to the need for increased right-of-way and surveying, right? They give that
It was
all
here. I got it here.
Oh, we need to acquire right-of-way. We don't have right-of-way down in there right now. So
Here's what we were discussing. The amendment to engineering services, is that correct? Yeah, here it is. There's discussion on the amendment to engineer/owner agreement with the addition of $4,300 for additional surveying costs. Correct? got it?
Yeah.
That's easy enough, yeah.
Okay. And of course, there was a motion made and seconded and a vote on that.
Was there a motion? It says the commission would like to wait to sign.
You guys didn't take any action
Okay.
on that. So there was discussion on the amendment to engineer owner agreement.
Yeah.
So-
Concerning the additional surveying costs in the amount of $4,300.
Additional cost for,
Additional, what do you have so far?
there was discussion on the amendment to engineer owner agreement concerning the additional cost.
Pertaining to surveying, no, additional surveying costs.
Additional. Okay,
Costs in the amount of $4,300. Discussion was tabled until next meeting.
33,000,
I think
4,300.
4,300, sorry.
the agreement was the amendment was tabled until the landowner could be contacted.
And you were gonna contact him, weren't you? Is that
So, no action was taken pending further information.
So you would like the commission would like to wait to sign the amendment until the commission had asked to, or had talked to the landowner? You'd like that?
No, we haven't.
That's what I
That's
have.
fine.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just change that one sentence to, there was discussion on the amendment to engineer owner agreement concerning the additional surveying cost in the amount of $43,000.
4,300.
What?
4,300.
4,300, sorry. 4,300.
That's all right.
Okay,
I suppose it's a matter of procedure. If something's tabled to the next meeting, it ought to be on the agenda for the next meeting.
It is.
Officially tabled or not.
Oh, okay. Oh, that-
It would just-
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think we just decided to.
Yeah, we didn't really table a motion. We just pushed it off till today, and it's under KLJ,
Okay.
so it probably shouldn't say tabled.
No,
it shouldn't say tabled, okay.
Doesn't, does it?
It's up here, the commission would like to sign. No, the commission would like to wait to sign the amendment until the commission had talked to the landowner.
Right.
So that's all.
That's already in the minutes. Anything else?
I'll move to approve the minutes as amended and dispense with the reading.
It's been moved by Ron to approve the minutes as amended and dispense with the reading. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next. November bills and December vouchers.
Okay. The Tom Doll, the $100 to Tom Doll, I took it out of the EOC again, because that's where I took out everything else for that project, and we had discussed that we were going to clean that up of where those other expenses should have been taken out of. So that's just where I put it for now. You guys can tell me if you would
What was
like.
it for?
Leveling the gravel for Floyd down here on those heat pumps, no condenser units.
Is there an easy way to find like this negative 461? If I look through the expense report, how would I don't know exactly where to find it, but I guess if you put the fund number, I guess is what I'm saying. But
Oh, you
maybe
want
well, that would be a lot. If it's not a lot of work, it would sure.
You know, I could.
I didn't know if you could have a report that had the phone number on it.
Yep.
So the 460, negative 461, how did we get to that? Evidently the money for the EOC.
That's just the expense. That's not including any revenue going in there.
Okay, as the revenue comes in, why isn't it being included?
With the system or how that is set up, if I take something out on this report, it'll just say a balance of that, because it's not including any revenue that we've gotten in. And that's with the KLJ one as well.
Does the revenue report?
If you look at the liabilities report,
Liability report. Okay.
yep, give you guys a liabilities report.
It's in the middle of that first page.
First page, you can see, right?
So we're negative $47,886.14.
And that is correct, because that's the amount that we took out of the general fund in order to cover the mediation costs.
Mediation agreement, yeah. Right here.
That's correct.
So then, if you guys want to, like, amend that account by
Oh, okay.
using the general fund money, or how are we gonna make that so that it's,
Okay, but can you?
Well, it already is. I mean,
do you want me to continue to take, like, this Tom Doll one out of that account? The
no,
EOC?
the only thing that should come out of that account is it was set up for the EOC grant fund. So the only thing that should come out of there
Well, it seems
were
like if this shows the
dollars that were reimbursed by the grant.
Right. And so whatever was done with the EOC, I took out of that account, everything.
Right.
And so, do you want me to then do a correction of that amount?
The amount of grant dollars in has to equal the amount out.
Okay,
So
so then this
now the
account,
grant is all done, so the total dollars to the penny that came into that account has to go out of that account, and it should leave it with a zero balance.
okay, so I should do a correction of the 47,000.
And then the rest of it gets put into the courthouse maintenance or whatever that was. General courthouse.
Okay, yep.
Wherever we had the money set aside for running the courthouse.
Okay, that was the general courthouse.
Yeah.
So do a correction with that?
That's where the dollars that you were taking out of the EOC grant fund should go into. Because an EOC grant fund, when it's all said and done, and they come and do the audit on the grant, they should be able to look at that one account. As I said, they have one account that shows the money coming in and the money going out, and it's exclusive for the grant.
Mm-hmm.
So they could make sure that every dollar that they sent to us got spent on an approved
Right.
project in the.
Shouldn't that account end up with we should have budgeted county money in the revenue side of that account too, though. Because
In kind, they're the 25% match, I suppose.
right.
No, but the 25% match will show up coming out of the county fund when we do it this way, rather than being a reimbursable amount from
Rather than being a revenue to that fund, right?
It'll eventually show up that way. Yeah. Mhm. They only reimburse us for
actual expenses.
Yeah, and 75% of it.
Right.
Yeah. But what's gonna complicate that is you won't be able to put your exact finger on the dollar amount of the match, because some of the match was paid
To the building.
by the building authority, and then we in turn reimburse the building authority by paying money towards the courthouse portion of the project. But when it's all said and done, you can go through and you can find the total amount spent on the project, the total amount spent by each entity, the 3 entities, and come to the numbers that you need. But in any of these reports, you'll not be able to pull that up individually.
No, you're not gonna find it anymore.
But the one report that we do need to pull up individually is the accounting for the grant. And that's why we have to have this EOC grant account, just money in and money out with a 0 balance at the end.
So what Ron has, this 461 isn't gonna show up in these reports.
No, that's on that liability report. That's this.
Right.
Yep, yep.
But the 461 isn't on the liability report either.
If you go onto the expense report,
Oh,
Well, it's only 102,000 under the EOC grant.
go to the other UOC grant. There's
Well, there's
2. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have mine with me, so.
Okay, I do see it back on page.
You see it?
In the minute.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna have to coordinate with Connie to show which were approved expenses under the EOC grant,
Okay.
and then match those approved expenses to so that the $988,000 of revenue, we have $988,000 of approved expenses to bring the balances to that.
It spans multiple years too, so it's gonna be a,
No, it doesn't. No, the reimbursement just is in this year.
well, we didn't have any in
Oh, yeah, oh, no, we did have someone.
2014?
I thought at the tail end we did, but.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we had expenses.
Maybe we didn't get it.
The revenue only shows 332,000 year to date.
So that the, Tom Dahl will, the account will then be changed to the general courthouse.
What was it? Budgeted amount for that?
The general courthouse?
Yeah.
May I see your expense report, please? Budgeted amount was 60,000.
Yeah, that was for the new courthouse.
And then there's a,
That's where the heating and all that, and electricity and everything comes out of, or should come out of.
Insurance.
Insurance, right.
and then you have the general, just the general courthouse, and you budgeted 190,000 in there. And nothing's been used out of there year to date. And then in the,
That was the reserve.
and in the, or no, so, yep, in the reserve, it's the 190, and then in the new courthouse, it's the
60.
It's the 60, yep.
That's correct.
But the payment to Schultz came out of the EOC grant fund, right? That for Schultz to set those air conditioning units?
Right, but the $100 wasn't a reimbursable cost from the grant. So that EOC fund has got to show at the end that every dime that was paid out of it, and only paid out of it, was $1 coming in.
Okay, it should have been reimbursable if we would have applied for it.
But we didn't. Right. So there's other things that we paid for that were either rejected, that can't be in that account anymore. So because we need to have a separate account to account for the EOC grant dollars.
The approved expenses is all you want to have in that EOC grant fund.
Right. I mean, as per their regulations, they said these can't be commingled funds. So you can't put them into an account that's used to pay anything else.
Yeah, but we need to know, obviously, all of the unapproved expenses for future litigation too.
Right, but they will just go over into, they'll just be over into the courthouse.
Yeah, so we should be able to get.
So we'll be able to find, they'll be over in the courthouse and that's
Kind of off topic here,
$60,000.
guys. We need to approve these expenses.
Right, well, that's what we're talking about, that $461,000 that was in the EOC fund. That's how we got onto this, was trying to figure out
We're
how
talking
that
about
was.
$100 bill.
I don't know, we're talking about the negative $461,000 balance. And we were trying to determine how we got that, so I don't think we're off topic, but. So anyway,
Then that isn't the balance. That's just the total amount of the expense. There was revenue too. That-
Correct, yeah.
This report isn't exactly what we're looking for.
right. Which was gonna lead me to my next question. Being we have a negative $461,000 balance on this one, are the rest of the negative balance indicative of the actual expense versus revenue, or are they just an expense?
That KLJ one is the one that's got the negative balance because we get reimbursed for it.
Okay.
Well, the question is, let's go to the one before that, the regional corrections one. It says minus $11,021.84. Is that how far that account is over budget?
Over budget, correct.
But that's not this number.
What? You guys didn't budget anything in that account. In the EOC. That I remember. So I
You
think
mean the
that's,
461,000 over?
that's just been all of the
Yeah.
expenses, correct?
Because there wasn't a budgeted amount there,
Right, it
because
was-
that was an in and out account.
Right,
But the
because it was
regional-
at zero, so then,
but
But the regional corrections isn't that way.
And as long as we're on regional corrections, look on the second page. Is that the cumulative balance? We have an 11,021.84 balance in that one too.
before these ones come out.
Okay, so that's a balance before, so actually now the negative balance is 15,000 something.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so those numbers are before, but are those, so that account is actually that far over? Are you getting this balance by using
It's coming from the expense report, like all the expenses.
But it has to be subtracted from the budget amount.
And it is.
It is.
Yep.
It's right off of this report.
Yep.
It's right off the expense report.
So it takes the budgeted amount and then whatever we've spent and whatever that's going over on
That's a
that.
negative number.
Okay, that's what I was
we're
trying to
looking
get to.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it come out though that, like on this page here, it's carbon services, and there's a negative 11,021.84, which is the same number as 11,021.84.
It's before
But
the
that's
expense.
before these.
It's coming out of the same
That's what
account.
it is before we add these.
Card member services
Yeah.
is coming out of regional corrections.
A part of it, yep.
So if
Just
you
the
take-
$10.31.
If you take the amount of regional corrections here, and then flip it over. This amount.
The
Here,
3120.
so it's roughly gonna be 15,000 over one fees. This 11,000. is
That one for
before.
card member services, that's, the one for regional corrections is only $10.31.
She's saying that the negative balance is calculated before this check is entered.
Yeah,
That's what it's over right now.
so once these approve, it'll be roughly 15,000.
Okay.
And then the state treasurer, it's domestic violence, state tax.
The domestic violence account is actually
With the victim witness fee account.
that one.
That one's actually supposed to be used for victim witness stuff. There's the statute's 2710 something.
But why is that a $16,000? Why is it over so far?
No, the state tax is over the 16,000. The domestic violence is over 280.
Oh, okay.
Why is that over 2 years?
I think because there wasn't a budget, is what
But
I.
there should be no money that comes out of that account. Yeah, that should be an account that grows based on that $25 investment that we made.
That one was for.
It's $62, but you said it's over 280.
It's over 280 as of right now. Yep. If you go to what account? What account number is on the front for that one?
80124833
Would you go to that page?
What was the number?
80124833 That should be an account that should be gaining money as people are paying their court fees, and it shouldn't. I don't understand why it's been spent on.
On page 14 of the expense.
Yeah, because there was no money budgeted in that account, and we spent $280 out of there.
What was that money
For what?
spent on? There's $35 here, but that, I think by statute we can't be spending money on that account unless it goes to like the abused women's shelter or something like that.
I'm sure Kelly's the one that must be in charge of that, isn't she?
Jamie actually.
Oh.
And it should actually go into the clerk's office, but yeah. But I haven't spent any money on it that I know of.
I don't have to click around on my computer, so I have to email Lori.
that?
I don't have Dakota programs on my computer, so I'll have to email Lori.
Well, that's fine, but as long as we're on the bills, now next meeting, we're going to have to know exactly what accounts and how far over, so that we can amend them, and then not make any more draws out of anything that would be taken over, so we can amend it for the end of the year. So with the next meeting, we'll need to have everything that is over.
I've actually been asked if we can have a special meeting at like the very end of the month so that we get all bills for this year paid off. I didn't know if this was the time to bring that up or if it was.
Well, that's possible, but we better give us we better get this amended first, so we know where to pay those bills out.
Correct.
So that the budget is so that the accounts are all funded and we'll know where to pay out.
So is that the meeting then where, like, if there's money in the insurance reserve fund and the insurance reserve fund is being transferred to the general fund, at that last meeting of the year, then that's when that money will be transferred into the general fund?
Yep.
I thought it had to be done a little late. I thought we had to wait till January.
Maybe in January.
The special revenue fund you can't transfer until.
You have to wait until, unless you did it 1 minute after 12 on the 31st.
Okay.
You gotta wait till it closes, the fiscal year closes.
Oh,
But we really shouldn't let the fiscal year close with negative balances in the.
okay, do that first.
Money has to be transferred in those other accounts before the end of the year.
Because the century code says that really doing it this way isn't correct. If you were gonna run a negative balance, you can't run a negative balance, you have to fix it. But the bureaucracy is like slipped to the point where to the last minute you can fix it and still do it big. Which isn't exactly correct, because you would never, how would you know you'd have the money to fix it? I mean, we know we have the money to fix it, but. But I thought we were going to do it. The process assumed that the people taking care of the money weren't confident enough to be able to wait till the end of the year and make sure they had the money, and I think we should keep it that way.
Is this one okay though?
I'm not even sure really what that one's for.
It shows $315 of revenue. Yeah,
But there's no budget.
right, on page 24.
And Jamie's question was, what was it being spent on?
And I got that coming. Domestic Violence Prevention Fund. It's fees to be credited to the state general and special funds.
So it's a tax that the county pays for the domestic violence fund.
So we pay into the fund and they give us part of it back.
Well, I mean, that's the $25 it's supposed to be, it's a special revenue fund, really, that's supposed to be paid out. It's a special tax on whoever committed a crime, that's supposed to be paid out for the shelters and ambulance and that sort of thing.
Evidently the state has created a mini bureaucracy to which you have to pay a fee.
And that's probably that is probably something I should talk to you guys about. I'm learning a little bit more about that budget, and if we have money, I think we're supposed to pay it out to those organizations based on the statute. I'll grab the statute for the next meeting.
Well, we got $35 left.
Yeah, we should have more than that, because every person that commits a crime gets assessed a $25 fee.
Well, only 9 people committed crimes.
I was a little bit busier than that this year.
So this regional correction travel budget, is that the one you were talking to me about, Jamie?
I don't know what that is, but there is going to be some extra money that Bob probably can spend for the sheriff's department, because they went down to Louisiana and picked up a guy on a warrant that did some pretty bad stuff and brought him back. Kind of sounded like their fight down there was going to be like $1,500 or something like that.
We had $30,000 budgeted in regional corrections, and there was $13,500 spent in this month. So how can that be? I mean, what was it for?
This is the report for last month's.
Or in November, I mean.
Correct.
Where's that 13,500 you just referenced?
Page 13 of the expense report. So we've already approved those vouchers that added up to that.
Most of it was for housing prisoners.
I'm guessing probably.
Was it?
Yeah, I know in one month alone, there was a $4,500 and.
We've had several 3,000.
Okay, I couldn't remember. So, I mean, that is what it is.
I mean, I don't have exact figure, but I know that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because we had some guys going to jail in the last couple of months, so it's probably already.
Okay. Are we ready to?
And in that domestic violence, there's only $35 coming out of that line, and then the state tax, it's the 27.65, so equaling up to 62.65. And Lori's running that report for you. Yep.
So the domestic violence is a line item within the state treasurer.
It must be, yeah, because it was a voucher from the state treasurer.
Right, so it must be a line item.
And it's a line, it's a separate account for the only level two. Keep track of that $25, $25
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on the bills?
No, I don't think so.
I'd make a motion to approve the November bill and December vouchers.
Been moved by Dale to approve the November bills, December vouchers. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries.
Who made the motion?
Dale moved and Sean seconded.
Thank you.
Monthly office report.
I should talk to you guys about, I just thought Sean was looking at the private accounts from the road department. Two of them have, two of the bottom two, they've been taken care of civilly here. There's judgments against them from small claims court that we took care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
461.
Been moved by Sean to accept the office reports as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Right, second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jake.
Okay, I got just a couple things today. On page 15 in your packet, put together a little sheet showing the bid dates and when the projects will be advertised. One thing I guess I'd like to talk to you guys about is I know we talked about bidding one of them on January 22nd, and I just got told this week that I'm going to be in Bismarck on January 22nd. You guys can open them yourselves, that's fine, I don't need to be here, but if you would like me to be here, would you be okay with moving that bid opening to a different day?
I'll be gone too. I'll be at the State's Attorney CLEs the 23rd, 22nd.
What would the rationale for having you here? What is there something statutory that needs to take place?
No, and that's why I said you guys can't open it on your own. That's
No, other than if you guys want to have him go through all the calculations before you accept a bid, that would be the only thing.
which I have to get all the documents from when whoever.
We don't have to award it that day.
No. And actually, even the other ones, we probably wouldn't award that day because I got to take it back and plug it all in to make sure all the bids were correct and everyone plugged everything correctly. So.
You can award a contingent on him running the numbers and making sure all the numbers are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we might as well do it then.
Okay, so keep it on the 22nd?
Sure.
Okay, and then with that, one thing I didn't ask you guys last time is what time you want them opened. I'm assuming the June meeting. I think that's what Jenny had done with the last project.
What did you do?
It was during the meeting, I think it was at 2 p.m. Does that work for
That should be fine.
also? Okay.
Yep, that'll be good.
Okay, those projects are moving right along. We'll have everything ready. I do have a typo there. The ad for bid is due to the paper next Tuesday, December 8th. I have December 11th, but we'll have the ad for bid to the paper on Tuesday by noon, so we should be good to go. And then everything will show up on the Quest website next Friday. All the plans, so that the contractors can start seeing them.
Okay.
Okay, the culvert project. The wetland permit packet has been submitted to the Army Corps of Engineers. We haven't heard anything back yet. I'm hoping to hear back before Christmas, but it might be early January. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. And then Troy talked to Dan Odegaard.
I talked to Danny Odegaard regarding the acquisition of some right-of-way to make it wide enough to complete this project. And I don't think Dan is really looking for any type of compensation, it didn't sound like, but he did have 3 concerns. Now, Jake has addressed 2 of them with these 2 letters on page 16 and 17. One of them is a concern, the first one on page 16, Dan asked the question based on the fact that he's on the township board. And there's a structure a mile east of here. And when I told him we were going to increase the flows through that road, he wanted some assurance that it wasn't going to wreck their crossing a mile east of there. So I called Jake and he put this letter together for Dan as a township officer so that they would have some comfort with what we're trying to accomplish. Then on page 17, his next question was whether or not it would impact his existing fence. He just had new fence put in there not so many years ago. And I think if we were gonna have to move it, he wanted us to do it. Now Jake has just come to the conclusion that that fence won't be impacted. The other concern that he had is, I don't know how familiar you guys are with that neighborhood up there, but the quarter of land right north of Dan's yard is kind of a high water table type situation. And he has a drainage ditch that runs in the county right away ditch. He would like the county to provide him with some documentation stating that he has the ability to keep that ditch clean going forward. And so I wasn't sure what to do with that, so I gave it to Jamie.
You guys have the power to do it, just under the power of the commission. To grant any person the right of way for irrigation, telephone lines, electric light systems, water, wastewater systems.
So we'd give him an easement?
Just give him an easement to do it. I think that would be appropriate.
I think if we did that, he would just grant us the right of way. So with that said, it would be my recommendation that we have Jamie draw up a right of way easement for that county ditch north of his yard and sign it and record it in his favor.
We're gonna need a description of that, I suppose, so maybe as part of it, we'll have to have KLG.
Do a flat book.
Yeah, I do, but the width and so they can just go out and have someone measure the width of it and.
Well, doesn't won't an aerial photograph with the ditch marked out serve as easement also?
I don't know. What's the right thing to do?
Well, we do have corner information to do the right of way on the, or corner information to do the right of way on the box or culvert project already. So we wouldn't need the guys to go up there, I don't think, to get any more survey. If I was told what we needed, or what you guys are looking at, I'm sure we could get a plat drawn up. I guess the only thing is we don't have like the center of the road or anything there. Anything we would draw up would be kind of arbitrary.
I don't think we need anything that specific. All we need to do is,
we can just grant it 75 feet from the center of the road and give them the permission to construct.
I don't even know if I'd get that specific. I just say the county hereby grants Daniel Odegaard and his successors the right to maintain the county ditch elevation at a
4 on the slope.
Well, no, the bottom of the ditch elevation at a level that is adequate to provide drainage for his needs.
For wheelchair, Griggs County Commission hereby gives Odegaard and successors easement to maintain all current drains at current levels. And name the quarter
section. We're on the east side of the county road in the northwest quarter of the section or whatever.
Yeah, just take it down to the quarter and just to maintain the current elevations and drainage and that's what we're granting them anyway.
Yeah, it is. So check it and see what I need to do.
We don't need to be so technical.
There's a name for that. It's called
common sense.
But it is like it's a point-to-point easement, I think they call it. It's like when I gave the easement for the Dakota Water to be on my property when I dug in my water.
Yeah.
Is like where the water line is.
Yeah.
Is basically what it comes down to. It's northeast corner of section 26 in Washburn Township, where the water line lies.
And as I said, the current ditches in place on whatever quarter that is, I think should be fine to maintain to the current levels.
Okay.
Or established levels. I mean, it wouldn't do any good big a decrease there anyway, then there's whole water, so.
Because there's a culvert going through his driveway.
Right.
Township 148, range 59, the west half of section 15. The county road ditch on the east side of the road from the creek
What was
to
the
the
description?
Pilot mound.
by the mound. Township 148, range 59, section 15.
The west half of it, so yeah, the
Yeah.
west half of section 15, so it'd be the west, northwest and
It
southwest corner.
just be the west. The county road ditch on the east side of County Road 15, bordering section 15. Which kind of ironic. Okay. Anything else, Jake?
Okay, what, Troy, I don't know if we wanted to talk a little bit about, culvert versus the box culvert, and directing the water into that existing structure.
Right?
I got a picture there of, I'm sure like most of you guys have been out on the road and have seen there's like there's an old abutments from an old bridge to the east of our project site. Right now, the water is directed through them. His fence is connected to the abutments, or both abutments. And then also included two plan sheets, one showing the box culvert, one showing the three culverts. Now, the existing structure's wing walls are about 24 feet apart. The box culvert opening is 16 feet wide, and then our proposed wing walls are 43 feet wide. And the culverts need 16 feet center to center to install those culverts and have room for the end sections. And then also to pack fill in between them. So if you look at I think it's the second plan sheet in there that shows the culverts. The outside two culverts are going to be directing water on either side of that existing structure. Now, seen in the picture there, we do have, the dirt's kind of built around to direct the water through that old bridge. Me and Troy were talking about a little bit. Eventually, if that water is directed on the outside of that existing structure, it'd probably quite a few years before we would see substantial erosion, but it could happen. So we just thought, talk about it a little bit before we did the project.
I think over time it's going to blow that bank out of there.
Yeah.
Which maybe don't matter. He'd have to move his corners and just have a longer span of fence, suspended fence or whatever. But
It all depends what the cost is.
right. No, it just can be a consideration.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll.
That doesn't mean, I don't think it needs to change our mind today.
No. Yeah, it probably will. It might. It might not.
Okay, so at this point,
Couple loads of rock on the other side, on each corner built up, and it won't, and all that.
Right.
so at this point, my plan is to bid both options.
Yeah.
I just wanted to discuss this now, so it doesn't come as a surprise later.
Yep.
If something happens.
Maybe we should. Maybe if we do the culverts, maybe we should maybe we should put 100 yards of rock on each side.
And our rock,
On the, right, on the wing wall there.
our rock for the culverts is actually gonna extend into the wing
Oh.
walls a little bit, so it'll come up.
Because you could back a truck in on both sides, or just dump it and push it over the cap, and then it's not gonna go around it.
Yeah, I mean, it will hold it for sure a lot longer, if eventually it does be over, but that's a long time down the road, so.
Danny's my age, he won't have to worry about it.
Well, I'm quite sure the county will still have trucks, I know there's a lot of rock around.
So, anyways, I guess that's all I had today.
Okay, how about these DOT letters? Or these? they don't
Those are
have-
mine.
Oh, okay.
But what about that? Are you guys gonna sign that now? Or do I hold on to it for a little bit longer?
Well, it looks like this right-of-way acquisition is not gonna be an issue. Should we approve the amendment to the contract for the surveying of that right-of-way going by, on Danny's there?
Well, do we have, if it's not gonna be an issue, do we have to, we mean to resurvey it, yeah.
There's never been surveyed, there's no right-of-way easement in there now, and we're gonna take a little more land than we have currently. I think Wayne was thinking we should survey that and get an easement from Dan so everybody knows where they're at. Wasn't that the skinny?
Yeah. And actually, it kind of comes to, I think this is letter from the DOT here. Part of that construction maintenance agreement is saying we have the right of way for all of our CMC
Oh,
routes
okay,
too.
so it's kind of required.
Yeah.
But once Jamie gets me an easement, did you send these letters to Dan?
I haven't. I wanted you guys to see them first,
Okay.
and I can send them to them.
And then, if he gets those two letters and Jamie draws up an easement, and for him to maintain that ditch, he'll sign the easement.
I'll have the easement ready to go by next meeting for you.
Right. But I think we should hold that until you get us the easement
For the other.
for the right of way.
Just have them
I
sign.
mean, that should be, we should be sitting at the kitchen table signing those at the same time, I think. Okay?
And that, the guys were up there and got the corners. Now it's a matter of the surveyors drawing up descriptions and then us getting all our right of way documents together. We still have to follow the federal aid process, even though we're not using federal aid money.
Right. So with that said, I think we need to approve this today so they can continue doing their survey and preparing that easement for us.
And we have the ability to do, without competitive bidding, we have the ability to do that.
To amend this engineering contract?
Well, no, to authorize $4,300 for services done in the county without having competitive bids. Yeah, anything else we do, we can't do that.
We've already approved having KLG be the engineer for this project. We're just increasing the scope of the
We
project.
don't have to competitively bid the engineering services.
I know that. I was just making a point. Well, why is and shouldn't it be the same due diligence when it involves this process as every other process? Because this just proved the point that yes, we approved them to be the engineer, but basically now we gave them a blank check because now we're adding on to the cost that was incurred without.
Right.
That I'm making a point. I don't know if it's right or wrong. To me, it doesn't seem right. That everybody else is held to a different standard than the engineering services.
Well, we can bid it. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as we get the right of way. They don't have to do the survey.
I'm just throwing it out there so everybody's aware of it. It seems.
Make a motion if you
It seems
want.
different to me. No, I'm not going to make a motion. I'm not going to make a motion to pay it. But again, it just seems strange. to
Don't
me.
make a motion that we bid it. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's going to delay the project. And this is probably more for further consideration than right now, but this was brought up before that we wanted to have these. I thought that all future projects, the engineering was going to be bid as the project came up. And I must have misunderstood what.
I think it's done by the year.
It is done by the year, but the last time we went through this, I thought that it was the understanding that we're going to look at each project individually and have the engineering bid on an individual basis. And that was my fault for not, I can't find that in writing anyway, that was just my recollection of
I
it.
see.
So, we don't want to hold this project up either, but I think in the future, I think that if it's a possibility this could be done for half the price, why are we tied to one company for the whole year for every project? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And I think in order to do that, though, I think when it comes time for the engineering proposals with the county, I think then you have to accept a couple different engineers. And for this year, we accepted KLJ, so I think that's what kind of we're.
You can accept the list of them.
I think you can accept a list of them and
on a project
I
basis.
think so. I'll have to do some research.
Well, maybe that's an option.
We went through the last time that we accepted KLJ, we did have another offer, and we were under the assumption that we had to take one. And I don't know, when's that coming due again? Pretty quick, I think.
I don't know, when was the last one done? Last spring or last winter?
I know with the Senate bills, all Senate bills and House bill monies, you guys approved KLJ for all of those. And then, I don't know about the other.
But we could approve more than one engineering firm.
No, just like what you guys do with the gravel bids, like you can approve a bunch of them. You know, use whoever's available, whoever's closest or whatever to do the gravel projects. I think you can do some with engineering projects. I'll have to look and make sure, but.
Unless I'm not correct, the engineering costs are a percentage of the total project, correct? Is that how the engineering costs are
No,
figured?
they charge us by the hour.
We figure out how many hours, and see, that's the thing, I mean, I know it probably just looks like a number on paper, but we're not out to screw anybody.
No.
If we did that, I mean, that would just be really bad business, and I don't want you guys to think that, that my company is just
No, we're not.
charging a lot.
We're not thinking that, but having run a lot of companies, if I don't have anybody to answer to as far as the prices I charge a fair price as far as I'm concerned, but that might not be the fair market price.
Well,
And so you can't use your own company's philosophy to try and justify the cost because it's always going to be higher than the person paying it.
I think what you're trying to say is that competition keeps the price down, and without competition,
It's absurd to me that a public entity is operating where you don't have a bid process. It doesn't seem responsible.
And I guess the difference between engineering and per se the gravel that we're just talking about, engineering is looked at as a qualification basis, not a price basis. I don't know who sets those rules. I think it's the state or it's in the century code, I know. And that's why there's not competitive bids. And I'm sure you guys have read it and know it. But
Can there be competitive bids?
I don't see why there couldn't be.
Then there should be.
I think you can okay several engineers based on their qualifications and then still maintain a competitive system. I'm going to do some checking to make sure, but I don't see why you couldn't, because like I said, you do that with competitive bids on the gravel projects or the gravel and that sort of thing. So I don't see why you couldn't, but I need to do some look. I need to look into it first.
Well, if we don't talk about it, then it keeps going the way it is, and then maybe it doesn't change. But it's got to be.
I ain't mad at you.
It's not about mad or happy. It's just that there's people that ask that question that I represent, and
It's a good question.
so it has to get put out in front of everybody so we can discuss it. And it has to be amongst us. It can't be input from the people that are bidding this, because of course they're going to be biased naturally, and they should be.
Yeah, no one's gonna come in and say, well, I bid this, but we're charging you guys. I mean, they're not gonna say, they're gonna say that you guys are getting great value for whatever you spend. And, I mean, like you said, that's what they should be.
For every dollar saved there is a dollar put somewhere else in the project, or a dollar. So, anyway, that's what I'd like to see. Given that, we still have to move ahead on this.
We have to make a decision whether we're gonna accept this amendment or if we're gonna bid this survey.
Yeah, I make a motion that we accept this amendment with the caveat that moving forward, we look into possibly having 1, 2, or 3 different or more
Qualified
firms that we can
Okay.
put this out in front of.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John? Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries.
I guess with that said, I have been approached by Chris Malden from Baltic Engineers to talk to you guys sometime in the future about doing engineering projects for the county. He's starting doing some projects for Nelson County. He's probably as local as you can get as well. He's from Macomb originally.
Well, I mean, we should entertain any and all bids, and that's the only way we're going to be assured that the prices that we're paying are competitive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with asking that.
Not one bit.
The last meeting, Wayne had talked to you guys about that letter or that email that he got that he was only CC'd in, and I had to go through my email to make sure I didn't delete it. I actually didn't delete it. I got this in the mail, and he signed it as that he recommends it since he was unable to be here today. So,
Which one we're talking about?
on page
31.
21,
Yeah.
and then on 22 he.
It's a
Wayne
maintenance
has-
certification for
Oh, yeah.
federal aid project.
Yeah.
I need to sign it, don't
Yep, I do believe so.
So
Yep.
Samantha does. State's attorney. Chairman of the county commission.
You guys sign it now?
I? I read through this already.
What are your wishes, man?
I'll make a motion to sign maintenance certification for federal aid projects.
So it's been moved by Dale that we sign the maintenance certification on the federal aid projects. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Do you guys have anything else for me or any questions or?
Anybody have any question for Jake?
No, I think.
Okay. So
Thanks, Jake.
Jamie will get a easement ready. You're gonna get an easement ready, and then I'll go see Dan. Okay?
All right.
And you're gonna forward those 2 letters to him?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll put
very
this
good.
in there right away. All right. Well, you guys have a good weekend.
You too, Jake.
Hey, Jay, are you gonna get that stuff done before next meeting? Pennies and stuff.
I'll have to talk to our professional surveyors and just see what their schedule is. I don't think they're crazy busy right now, so
Oh,
should be able to get it done.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I screwed that up. Tough shit.
Okay.
County property auction.
Did you want to talk about, is this the same thing?
I don't know what on the agenda.
What page are you on?
Those with rail.
Yeah. 31.
We probably need Wayne's input.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 2 highway rail intersections in the whole county. Hannaford and Sutton. Hannaford has the bridge over it.
Yeah, I think county roads are considered highways too.
Oh,
Any road.
falls under highway.
I think so.
Wasn't this the one that you went on last year?
That was, I think it's similar, it's not the same guy, that was a public safety.
Okay.
I think any roadway kind of costs.
It's supposed to be the same thing.
The Supreme Court defines a highway, I think, by any maintained section line. So any road. I think that's how it's defined.
They refer to 15 to 18 real highway at grade crossings. That must be for Griggs County, I suppose.
There's that many projects that you do.
I suppose that must be how many places the railroad gets crossed by county and township roads.
And it looks,
Just county.
it looks like we've got till December 31st to do it, so we could certainly ask for Wayne's input and do it at the next meeting.
Yep.
And I think if they put in signal arms, depending on how far away power and different things are, it's significant amount of money.
Yeah, a couple $100,000 or something.
Yeah, like $250,000 on average, and some of them can get more than that.
Which doesn't make any sense. But
You need labor, guys.
it's only about $800 if you get drunk and run over an arm. I found out. 876 to be exact.
To replace one of those others. Hopefully you charge that to somebody and not paid it yourself.
No, I got charged.
The costs are,
I was gonna ask you what the
It was about an $1,100 deal.
You pay your $55.
a lot of those
The guy involved
costs
did.
the control signaling from the railroad, sometimes that's too far away and that's really expensive to lay in.
Yeah, I can't afford that.
He didn't hit your train.
No.
Must have an emergency generator on it too.
I don't know. It happened at about 9:30 or 10:30 or something in the morning, or 12:30. Really early that it happened. You shouldn't have been drunk. But
Okay, Griggs County bid items.
This again is Wayne's recommendations, the same one that you had the last time. We had 2 bids, 2 people that bid. He bid $510 on the international. I can't read that.
Yes, 1900 single axle truck.
Dump truck.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
310 on the fuel tractor.
500 on there.
510.
On the truck.
Yep.
On the international, okay.
1982 International.
Okay. And then
You
what,
can
what
read
else?
that up. He's got 300.
310 on the Ford tractor.
With belly motor. Yep. Three what?
310.
Yeah, and pop her number.
$40 on the tan wagon.
tar wagon.
Tar wagon. I probably shouldn't be drawn on here.
Yes, do that on there.
Todd Ellison. Did he get this off of Bizman?
No idea.
Just kidding, he's local. Oh, this is a bid on the Ford mower tractor too. $500.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the only thing you did on.
What's Wayne's recommendation on the?
The tractor, the recommendation was
$250.
$250. The truck was $2,500. And the tar wagon was $50.
We got a $40 bid on that, $500 bid on the tractor, and a $510 bid on the truck.
Well, if we go with how we did it last time, it looks like we sold the tractor.
You would want to sell the tar wagon for a $10 loss?
Well,
I'd be inclined.
I'd be inclined to let her go too.
but didn't we kind of set a policy last time?
You're right. We set a precedent.
Yeah.
That Wayne with Laura's recommendation. Get rid of it.
Well, how do we expect to train them if we don't stick by our policy?
Isn't that five? Isn't his five looks like a 4? Chicken scratch.
Well, the other option is to call Todd and tell him that there's a $50 minimum on that thing, and maybe he still wants it. I mean, it's $10.
You can't do that.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta open up for bids.
You gotta open up.
What we can do though is when we advertise it, is put a minimum bid on everything.
We should have done that.
Put what in there? You can put.
We can put a minimum bid on everything.
Oh, that's what we should do.
I think we should re-advertise them on Bizman and paper and put a minimum bid on them.
So this,
Well, first, I make a motion we accept the $500 bid on the Ford tractor with belly mower and reject the other two bids because they didn't meet the minimum.
Second. Moved and seconded that we accept the bid that exceeded the minimum and reject the two bids that did not meet the minimum.
Well, actually, two bids exceeded the minimum.
Two?
Yeah, 310 and the 500 both exceeded the minimum, so we gotta take the high one.
We're only gonna take the high one.
Guess we got two tractors.
Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Sean? Aye. Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Do we need a motion to re-advertise and put the minimums on there? Imagine.
The downside to putting the minimums there is you would have got a $260 bid for the Ford tractor.
I think we're doing it fine.
Oh, just leave it on Bizman and let her up.
Competition is
Okay,
competition.
that's fine. Okay, the next thing here, I have a beer and liquor license for the Sutton Pub.
So it's already been 6 months?
Yep.
it will be January 1st.
End of the year it will be, because he was worried about 4th of July. We had to have a special meeting.
I never got to collect my delivery fee last time because it was closed, so I had to take it to the door.
I bet I could deliver it tonight.
I'm doing it this
I
time.
moved to,
Just kidding.
I had to take it to the door.
I moved to approve the beer license for the Sutton Pub.
And the liquor license?
And the liquor license. And the liquor license, yes.
Been moved by Dale to approve the beer and liquor license for the Sutton Pub. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by John. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
You gonna take it out to him, Jimmy?
You got them?
Yes, I do. Just give me one moment.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, when we approved the November 6th meeting minutes, there was a typo in there and none of us caught it until Samantha did.
No, Chrissy did.
Christy did. The payroll for that month was not $2. It was 29,670. It's 38 cents. So I asked Samantha to bring that back here so we could amend those minutes to correct that typographical error.
It did get put into the paper like that.
With the $2?
Yep.
They were approved.
Yeah, that's right here. You guys gotta start paying closer attention.
I was thinking the same thing. And I'm one of those guys.
I flagged the big numbers.
The $2 one didn't raise much of a question.
Well, it was payroll. We should have known better.
Thanks.
I can't believe somebody bring this to the commission that way.
What?
I make a motion that we approve the previously approved minutes as amended.
Moved by John to approve the correction in the November 6th minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
No, this isn't a money issue. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, weed officer. We have an applicant for the weed officer. Everybody has it in front of them.
What are we paying for the lead officer?
I think the discussion that we had before is this going to be a very
Wasn't it?
very part-time position with no benefits and like $20 an hour or something.
I did have another individual come into the office this morning asking for information on the position, but I had informed him that the deadline was yesterday, so.
You didn't like him?
No, I was gonna get an application, but it's the rules.
I suppose he'd use his own pickup quite a bit to drive around the county. Shouldn't he get 50 cents?
Probably mileage.
Mileage in addition.
IRS allowable. That's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't the weed board have a pickup?
I don't know.
What's Wayne got left? We got an international truck.
That silver Dodge pickup was that silver Dodge is supposed to be for the weed board.
Oh, that one that the county agent drives is supposed to be the weed pickup.
Oh, okay.
Where's that at?
That's the county shop, isn't it?
I don't know where it
I have a Dodge Key. That's what that's for?
There's a Dodge four-door pickup that on someplace that's the extension agents and the weed boards. There's a Ranger that
So you've actually been the weed officer all along.
Say what?
You've actually been the weed officer all along.
It's got to be.
You find it yet?
Yeah, it's C31.
How much was your budgeted for?
Salary's 4,000, travel's 2,400.
Okay.
Oh,
Fuel for vehicles 1,500. I suppose that will have to go towards the spraying part.
Well, that's fine. Oh, 31A. I don't have
You're always missing pages, John.
it. I'm missing more than that. Okay, I got it.
So we won't need to pay any mileage if we have a vehicle. There's a fuel budget. 15.
For the amount of miles that this is gonna take, why wouldn't we get rid of that pickup? And just pay him mileage?
Yeah, and put a maximum on it. How new is the pickup?
Probably an 02 or 03 or
Oh,
something.
what is that old?
I would think. It's a crew cab Dodge full guy pickup.
Do Wayne use it for anything, or just?
I don't know.
He used to sit out here when Jill was here.
I'll drive.
Wasn't there a Ranger for the weed board too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna put the sprayer in that.
Okay.
Can we do this on a contract basis? We'll have to. Well, I mean, otherwise then that's what's going to be paid.
Not if he doesn't work over 1,000 hours a year, or 900 or whatever half time is.
Well, you still have to pay social security, unemployment and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But on a contract basis, if we sign a contract with somebody for, I don't know how we advertise it.
Hold on a second, I'm just taking that up right now.
I think it was advertised as a position, not as a contract.
A contracted county weed officer.
There we go. So we can do a contract then for.
We talked about that, we were looking more at an hour a week.
So it could be $4,200 a year plus 55 cents a mile for vehicle use or whatever, with the maximum of.
And that's the contract price. I mean, that's it. And if he's contracted, no matter what he does, it's $4,200 a year. And then you shouldn't, do Jimmy has to check into it, you shouldn't have to pay workman's comp
Wouldn't think so.
because it's a contracted position.
It depends.
That's all he needs to do is locate noxious weeds and
Yeah, that could be a tricky one because he's still under the control of you guys mostly. Do some checking in on that.
Because since when isn't any contractor under the owner's control?
You can be under the control. You can.
We're just not gonna dictate his time.
You like any contractor, you tell him what you want done, and it's up to the contractor to accomplish that as he sees fit on his time schedule.
I'll take a look at that and see.
Pretty sure that's how it goes.
I think there was some legal action that some companies were kind of cheating and getting contract employees to work when they were really regular employees in the IRS.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna have to look into.
I mean, if you hired her deputy as a contract employee and she was under her direct supervision, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, so as long as you check it, and we're not supervising him to the extent that he's an employee.
Yeah, the IRS has got a list of 10 different
Yeah,
ones
they
it
do.
doesn't fall under.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wanna, you're gonna have Jamie look into it?
Well, I don't know, I think,
Or maybe we need to meet with Tim and say, here's what we have in mind.
Right,
You find out if we can, we'll get him in here next meeting and visit with him and see if that works for him.
I'd make a motion that we have Samantha contact Tim and see if we come and meet with us next meeting about this position.
Okay? It's been moved that Samantha be asked to contact Tim Wallery to come in and meet with the commission about the weed officer position at the next regular meeting. Is there a second to the motion? Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Old courthouse, new courthouse.
Just really quickly for you guys, I filed the reply motion and summary judgment. I have no idea when I'll find out from it. Counterclaim reply is due back on the 23rd. I'm working with an attorney for that, and I'll let you guys know more when I figure out more.
Ron, did you guys talk to construction engineers?
I didn't. Did you, John?
No, I didn't yet. I was waiting for authorization from Jamie to do that. We weren't going to do it as a county commission. We were going to do it as in conjunction with this
Preparation for
lawsuit.
litigation.
Right.
Okay,
I'll speak with you after the meeting
okay,
or send you an email.
okay.
Yeah, send me an email so I have something in.
Sam emailed me yesterday and said the furniture is in that jury room
That
over
came
there.
Wednesday,
But
yeah.
I told her we liked it here, so we're gonna stay here.
Well, I got desks here and sunshine and a view.
Yeah.
I like
Was there seating for guests also? Did that come in?
Correct.
Nobody loves us anymore, John. I
Huh?
haven't had a guest for a long time.
Well, controversy equals guests.
Well, what should we do?
I guess go without a visitor.
Anything else?
I do have something. Kelly actually was going through the courthouse to order up furniture and noticed that the wood that's in this door out here is wiggling back and forth, making a lot of noise, and would probably be very easy for somebody to move it and get into the courthouse.
The window in the outside door.
Yeah.
Is it going into the social services?
No,
It's one back door, isn't it?
It's just like this one right out here that would lead
This is right back here.
right by Kelly's office.
I found that door open twice, so I don't know that putting a window in there is going to help much. But
Okay.
I don't know. Is it supposed to be some kind of
Yeah, it's supposed to be
security glass?
Security glass about that wide.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's a real narrow little window.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant the thick.
That thing.
No, that wide.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, holy moly.
It's a little narrow.
Yeah, it's just a little strip.
Yeah.
And somebody put a piece of plywood in there. I mean, we could have whole glass come and put a piece of glass in it, I suppose. I don't know.
I was just told to inform you guys about it. So
That should be the building authority, does
I don't know if you can even open it with, can you reach in and open it, or is there a key on both sides?
I've walked out it before.
Oh, yeah?
I think there's a bar.
Oh.
Yeah, probably for emergency exit, so you can, in case of fire, you can get out.
And entrance.
In case you need.
Well, it was an entrance the day I walked over to it because it wasn't even closed.
Well, we test our generator every month, and as well.
Did the generator come on when the power went out yesterday?
Did you go to power?
what did I go without
Oh,
power?
you guys did, yeah.
Yes.
She wasn't over there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Jamie, did you go without power?
I don't know. I wasn't there either. My secretary was homesick.
I was out there.
We've been there today.
What's that?
We've been there today. Are your lights flashing?
You're on.
No. So, I mean, I think it isn't flashing like it lost power. No, it must kick in.
Well, it's not that fast.
Well, so they have a little bit of residual resistors in those things.
In what?
In anything that has a light in it, or anything that has a clock in it, there's a little bit of lit. 10 seconds.
Well, they have a capacitor in there, but they don't carry very far.
But would we know if it starts up and runs?
It does every other Tuesday.
Is it plugged in? Does the heater in it?
Oh, yeah. Trickle charger and a
Lower hose heater or something?
hose heater. Anything else on a new courthouse, old courthouse?
No, probably just have the janitor look at that. Just have them secure that. Make sure that.
I think it's fine. It makes a lot of noise. We're gonna have to, if the courthouse gets done, that's gonna be part of getting it done.
Right. But I mean, just the cardboard. If the
It's a
plywood's
piece of-
loose, just secure the plywood.
You can't get it out of there.
Oh.
It's where the pane of glass would be, but it's not as thick as the glass is gonna be, so
Oh,
it
I
sits
see.
and rattles.
They put it in the frame, it's in the frame.
Yeah, it just
Oh.
rattles,
Oh,
but it don't matter, cause nobody lives there anyway.
no. No, okay, I see, I thought it was just coming loose.
No,
Then I just go inside there and just stick a piece of paper in there.
it's nothing.
Tighten it
Yeah,
down.
dude.
I see.
I'm gonna leave here then.
Been moved by Sean that we adjourn. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 2:38 PM, and we will meet again December 18th at 1 PM for a regular meeting.